Good morning, everyone. So, I wanted to make a video this morning, and I thought this would be a nice little calming backdrop for it. So, Rick and I were talking last night, and we've had a couple events happen in the past month that have put a sour taste in our mouth regarding sort of like patients' rights. And how the pharmacies treat patients. So I wanted to explain a little bit about that, and it's really made us decide that we want to try to find a way to become advocates for patients, because Rick is a very strong advocate for himself. I'm a very strong advocate for Rick as a caretaker, but we know there are people out there who don't have anyone to help them, and maybe they just aren't strong enough to stand up for themselves and get what they need. So I'm going to give you a little background on what happened, and then maybe if you listen to our story, maybe you know who we should contact or who we could reach out to. But we'd really like to try to find a way to help cancer patients. And really just not cancer patients, I guess, but maybe any sort of patient. So I'm a teacher, and one of our best practices is you don't punish the whole class when a couple students are acting up, okay? And that's what we feel like has happened with the opioid crisis in the United States. We know it is bad. We know that people are buying it from wherever and overusing it. And, there are doctors out there overprescribing it, and, people who are abusing their prescriptions. We know all of that has happened. But we feel like because of those poor choices, now people who actually need it and use it appropriately are being punished for those other people who are abusing it. So this is what's happened over the past month. Well, maybe let's go back. I'm not going to use details because, I want to protect Rick's privacy and everything. So back in December, he had surgery because he had air in his abdomen. So while he was there recovering for a few days, the physician's assistant for the surgeon was really helpful in trying to figure out the best pain medication for Rick. He determined what he thought was the best one. They experimented with the dosage. They would give Rick a dosage. He would give feedback, yeah, it worked. No, it didn't help. They worked with the frequency of the medication. Let's try every 6 hours. Let's try every 4 hours. What is working? So finally, they got it to sort of that sweet spot for Rick. 2 pills every 4 hours. And that worked for him. All through December, all through January, no issues at all. So his prescription was 2 pills a day, every 4 hours, max at 10 pills. Now, if he was taking it around the clock, it would have been 12 pills, but, sleeping through the night, he's not setting an alarm to get up at that hour to get his 2 pills. So it was 10 pills a day for 10 days, 100 pills. But what was happening is the prescription was running out in between his doctor's appointments. His doctor's appointments with the oncologist were every 2 weeks. So the doctor went ahead, changed the prescription to 2 weeks, called in the prescription. So I checked online to see if the medication was ready, and it said that there was a hold placed, and that the doctor needed to contact the pharmacist. So I let the doctor's office know, and they called the pharmacist and apparently went back and forth with the pharmacist over this dosage. Finally, the doctor's office sent us a message, everything is good to go, you can pick it up today. So I got the alert that the medication was ready to be picked up, so I headed to the pharmacy. I get there, I pick it up, I get home, and I see that the bag says that it's a 20-day supply for 120 pills. Okay, well, the prescription was supposed to be for 2 weeks. And if it was 2 weeks, that would be 140 pills. If it's 20 days, that should be 200 pills. But the bag says 20 days, 120 pills. So either way, the number of pills is not correct. So I'm like, oh, geez. So I get the bottle out of the bag, and the bottle in the bag, the sticker on the bottle says, "Please see attached." There's a white strip of paper taped around the pill bottle that says 2 pills every 6 hours for 15 days. Okay, that equals 120 pills. However, Rick's prescription, which is on his MyChart from the doctor, is every 4 hours. So I quickly realized with the math that these pills are not going to last him for 2 weeks. It's going to run out before we can get it refilled. And they are very particular on you cannot get a refill before your time is up. So I get a hold of the doctor's office and I tell them what has happened. And they said, they're like, what? They can't even believe that the pharmacist changed the prescription. Now, I'm not a pharmacist. I don't know if pharmacists are allowed to do this. But when all the communication is between the doctor and the patient, then how does the pharmacist make that decision? So anyway, they get it situated, and the doctor's office tells us that it has been changed in the computer at the pharmacy, so everything will be fine for the next prescription. So we go to Rick's next oncologist appointment, and the oncologist is like, I'm so sorry you had that issue with the pharmacy. Just so it doesn't happen again, he said, I called and everything was taken care of. But just so you don't have this problem again, I am just canceling that whole prescription. I'm just deleting it out of the system, and I'm going to write you a brand new prescription. We said, okay, perfect. That sounds great. We explained that we are going on vacation for a week in Surfside Beach, and that Rick's prescription will need to be filled on the 25th of February. And the doctor said, oh, no problem. I will just send this prescription to the pharmacy of your choice in Surfside. We go ahead, we do that. I get the alert on my phone that this order has gone through. There will be a new prescription available for pickup. So before we leave Charlotte, I double check. It is in there, and it says pending. Because when the doctor wrote the prescription, he wrote it for pickup on the 25th. So at this point, it's like, the 19th. So before we leave, I call the pharmacy in Surfside. Hey, we're coming in town on vacation. I just want to make sure this prescription is in your system because we are going to need to pick it up. Yes, no problem. It is in there. We see it in front of us. Perfect. So on the 25th, pharmacy opens at 10. I head there. So the 25th actually ends up being day 13. So he has actually lasted longer than the 12 days he was supposed to be on because they had to adjust the prescription. 120 pills is 12 days. So I'm actually there on day 13. And Rick was able to take a dose that morning. So I go into this pharmacy, give them Rick's name. No, we don't have anything. I said, I'm looking at it right now on his digital account for your pharmacy, and it says it's there. Well, just a minute, let me get the pharmacist. Can you step over here to the consultation window? Sure. So he comes over, pharmacist comes over, very condescending to me, walks over and goes, I'm not comfortable filling this prescription. I said, okay, what do you mean? Can you explain? this person isn't due for this prescription. It was picked up on the 13th and it's supposed to be good for 20 days. I said, no, you are looking at an old prescription. That prescription has been canceled. That prescription was incorrect. Well, this prescription is for 150 pills and I am not comfortable filling that. So I'm trying to be polite and I say, okay, you're not comfortable filling it. The patient is not going to be comfortable not having it. I said, I need you to look at the prescription that was sent in, not the prior prescription. I said, it says 2 pills every 4 hours for 2 weeks. Well, that's just a lot of this medication. I said, sir, he has stage 4 metastatic esophageal cancer. This is his pain medication. Well, I'm not going to fill it today. Okay, so he's choosing to tell me that he will not give me Rick's medication. So I said, I do not understand this. I said, I called in, they told me it was ready, everything is there. I said, why are you not filling this? He said, I would feel more comfortable giving it to you tomorrow. I said, so you're telling me that he has to go without any pain medication today? For the next 24 hours, he has no pain medication. And he says to me, I said, so what do you suggest I do with him? What can I expect with him to have no pain medication for the next 24 hours? This man says to me, this is the wrong medication. He shouldn't be taking any of this anyway. He needs a more long-acting medication for this. I said, sir, not that it's any of your business. This is between him and his oncologist. They have a plan for long-term pain medication. Not that it's your business. We have an appointment on March 5th to look into a new plan. I said, but until then, this is his prescription from his oncologist. Well, I think he's addicted to it, and you're probably going to have a rough day today. That is amazing. Thank you so much for your opinion there. I don't think you should have made that judgment about him. I will be calling your pharmacist headquarters and letting you know. And he said, so you can pick it up tomorrow. So I turn and walk away, and luckily I did not cry in front of this man. And so I get to the truck, and of course I sit in there and I have a panic attack because now I have to go home and tell Rick, I don't have your medication and there's nothing I can do for you. So Rick was a champ. He said, honey, I'm sorry this happened to you. Basically he knew that it was all the pharmacist's fault. Luckily, we did bring a backup with us of a medication that Rick had that he never used because it didn't do anything. He didn't like it. So at least he kind of had that to use in the meantime. So I call the after hours nurse from the oncologist office, and she was like, I'm sorry that happened. Unfortunately, we don't do refills on the weekends. We can't do anything. So I hang up. And after we kind of got the negativity out of our system with the, cussing and yelling at everyone that was not helpful today, I messaged the oncologist and explained what happened. So we ended up having a good day. We went over to friends who have a beach house down here too. We had lunch with them, watched a movie, hung out. It was okay. So Monday morning, I woke up, was messaging with the oncologist office. Then we got, Sunday evening, we get a call from the pharmacy. Your prescription will be ready for pickup tomorrow. Great, thanks, whatever. So I go online when I woke up Monday morning to check when the prescription would be ready because, they always give you like an estimated time. It said we are out of stock of this medication. We will let you know within 2 business days when it will be here. Why couldn't you tell me that yesterday? That even though you put me through all of this, the main issue was you didn't even have the medication in stock anyway. I would have been more okay with you saying we can't fill this medication because we don't have it in stock. Idiots. So I get a hold of the oncologist office and I said, listen, just cancel this whole thing at this pharmacy. Find us another pharmacy somewhere in the Surfside, Myrtle area. I don't care which one it is, just find one. So she calls me back like a couple hours later. At this point, Rick is not feeling well at all. He is in a lot of pain, and when he's in pain, it makes him nauseous and he doesn't feel like eating, and he's already dealing with nausea anyway. Okay, why are these birds all walking towards me now? Oh, maybe they're walking away from the dog. So finally, the RN gets a hold of me. We found a Walgreens, which is a totally different pharmacy than we normally use. We found a Walgreens in Murrells Inlet. We have called them. We have the they have the medication. They have the full prescription. They will fill it for you. The doctor's going to sign the order and you'll know when it's there. Beautiful, perfect. I get a call and a text alert. Your prescription is processing. Beautiful. Murrells Inlet is only about 5 miles away. So I tell Rick, okay, I'm going to go there. I'm going to be there waiting. Okay. So I get there at 1:22. I'm sitting in the chair looking at the thing on my phone that alerts me. And I notice that nothing is happening in the pharmacy window. And I'm like, So I go over and I ask, the pharmacist went to lunch. He'll be back at 2. Okay, I'm being very patient. I went and I sat down. I waited until 2 o'clock. The pharmacist came back. This very nice blue-haired young man working the register was like, I've told the pharmacist that you are here and that you're waiting so that we can get you processed quickly. I'm like, okay, thank you. Got home, gave Rick his medication, and within half an hour, he was back to himself. His skin was perked up. He was feeling better. We waited a few hours. We went for a little walk on the boardwalk in Myrtle. He ate a slice of pizza. I don't understand how a pharmacist can decide, number one, to change your medication. Who is the pharmacist to say, I don't like this dosage, I'm changing your dosage? And for him to look at me and say, I'm not comfortable giving you 150 pills, and just flat out refusing to give me the medication. And number 3, you lied. You didn't even have the medication there anyway. So I don't even understand what went on. But, we feel bad for people who don't have someone to help them, or they don't know what venues to take to call and get this taken care of. So Rick and I have decided we really want to work somehow, writing letters, sending emails, social media, just trying to help people learn that they can be advocates for themselves in this. And you know what? Rick is not a person who is abusing his opioids. He followed it to a T. He actually uses less than is prescribed. His prescription usually lasts a day or 2 longer than it's supposed to. But they've punished everybody with these stringent laws now. And just the way this man made me feel, and that he called Rick, he said he's addicted to these. How do you know that? I didn't come in here using 120 pills in 5 days, jonesing for something. And oh my gosh, here's the best. We were getting ready to leave to go get the slice of pizza and take the walk, and that pharmacy called to say, your medication is ready for pickup. Yeah, well, you can sit on that. And hopefully somebody else who needs that prescription can get it. So if you have any, connections with, politicians that are involved in, pharmacological rules and regulations, or hospitals and patients' rights or whatever, you know, just even if it turns out to be nothing and, you know, Rick and I just voice our opinions, maybe we feel like we can, you know, kind of help other people. So that was just kind of our story of what's been going on for the, you know, last month. Like, the last thing a stage 4 cancer patient needs to worry about is if they can get their medication. You know, that's really kind of sad. So that was our story of what's going on right now, and everything's good. You know, he's the nausea is the worst, but just hopefully today I can get him in the golf cart out here and get some fresh air. It's been a little too chilly for him. Even though the sun's been out, the wind has been really chilly. Today's really overcast. Tomorrow's supposed to be 70. So like I said, just leave a comment below if, you know, you have any connections of who we could reach out to, and I don't know, we just want to help other people advocate for themselves and their loved ones and kind of put that information out there. So enjoy your Tuesday afternoon, and I hope at least the ocean gave you some little sense of calm right now. Bye.